Morning Africa. I want to welcome you to Clevener Open Project, where we discuss about Africa on behalf of Africans in diaspora. I welcome my guests and my audience to today's morning show. Please let's note that today's topic will be on the role of women in organizational leadership, women empowerment, governance, and inspire inclusion in Nigeria. Please don't forget to sign up on clevener.com and also watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. So I welcome you, my guests, to this platform. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So let me go with Mrs. Ogunleye. Can you introduce yourself and let us and tell our audience a little about you, ma'am?
Okay, my name is Susan Ogunleye. I'm the Welfare Officer of the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria. By profession, I'm a biochemist and public health professional. I also co-found and run a hospital in Lagos, Nigeria. I am incredibly passionate about women advocacy, women empowerment, and everything that has to do with supporting women. Thank you.
All right, that's great. Okay, let me also hear about Madam Abosade.
All right. Good morning, Africa. Thank you for inviting me, Daniel. And I'm happy to be here commemorating the International Women's Day or month, as we call it now. I am Abosede Adeola Oyeleye. I am the current president of the Hubert H. Humphrey Alumni Fellowship Alumni Association in Nigeria. I also founded the Children Emergency Relief Foundation in 2000. And we started in 2005, but registered in 2006. And we've been working since then. A lot of our work center around children and women empowerment. I'm also the founder of the Christ Army Academy, both primary and secondary nursery school based in Ikorodu, Lagos. And so we founded that because we saw a gap in the work we're doing as an NGO when it came to educating vulnerable children. We wanted something quality and affordable. And sometimes we put children in school and, this issue of school fees and all. So that led to the founding of the school in 2010. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, let me go back to Mrs. Ogunleye. What actually inspired you to pursue the current field that you are now?
Okay, good morning. So it basically started because I have a background of lifestyle diseases in my family. And then I came across a situation where one of my family members was in a coma and he was, chased back from a hospital because they said he was almost dead, which is understandable because, hospitals don't want to sort of take any form of issues on themselves, especially if they don't have like indemnity or insurance over the people that they treat. So a lot of private practices might send back patients when they know that they cannot handle that situation. But the way that they go about it is where I have the question, like why can't you stabilize this patient before you refer to another hospital? But most times they just send the patient away and then you hear that this person died because they were locked out of, the clinic, or they didn't even have like the right information on how to live a healthy lifestyle, or they didn't even bother about their health at all. So that's what made us start our business, which is Jasmine Ultra Blue Solutions. And we, like I said, we own a hospital, but we also offer other health services because we're passionate about Nigerians living a healthy lifestyle and having access to healthcare.
Which is very important. Okay, now, this is the area where we celebrate International Women's Day. Now, Madam Abosade, what will be your contribution to this year's celebration? Or what advice will you want to give your fellow women?
All right. Thank you very much. There's a lot to talk about, really, and we'll just highlight one or two things because this year centers around empowering women, centers about the fact that the woman is an added value even to any organization. And so the first thing is that the woman should know who she is. A lot of people do not even understand their potential, what they carry. And even as a woman, we automatically has the home as a launch pad, as an organization. And so you discover that women can actually multitask. You're there working the home, you're there working even in other places. So the first thing you need to know is that you are somebody, you have a value, you have something to add, and you have a skill. And so don't relegate yourself because you are a woman. You're not just a woman. You're somebody that has a value and that can make a tremendous, be a tremendous addition to anything. And so also, and not just that, we as women, we need to empower ourselves. We need to, because you understand the fact that there are still biases. There are still biases all over. And so, even as much as we want to tell the world, don't judge me on the basis of my gender, judge me on what I bring to the table. But yes, so as a woman, you need to empower yourself. You need to add value to yourself so that when you talk, what they cannot push you to the background because they can see that you have a value to add. And finally, I mean, like I said, there's so much to talk about, but I would just say this as well. We need to understand that there's a whole lot that is happening now. And so we must take our proper place in the home and even in organization and even in the nation. Women are supposed to, if you look at the national gender policy, women are supposed to at least have 35% of governance. But is this so? Even in this present political regime, it's not so. So we need to understand that there's a lot, there's a lot of opportunity that we need to begin to work towards to ensure that we're able to fill in the spaces. If you're not empowered, if you're not developed, you can't fill in the spaces properly. So that's just what I would say for now concerning
All
women.
right, thank you. Thank you so much, Ma. Let me come to Madam Ogunleye. Now, you remember one of our presidents once said that women are meant to be in the kitchen. Do you agree with this statement?
So I'm an advocate for a woman deciding where one brings her peace and where she wants to be, however, being able to make certain decisions. So like Madam Oyeleye said, I hope I got the name right. Like she said, there are different aspects to women empowerment, right? So there's obviously like health, there's financial, there's emotional, there's education, there's security, all of those things matter. And there are women that are very confident and happy being the nurturer and the provider, but they still need to be financially independent. That's very important. If not, you're exposing yourself to gender-based violence. You're exposing yourself to so many things that you can't control, out of your control. But I'm an advocate for a woman deciding that she wants to be a nurturer or whatever she is. Just make sure that you're empowered to be able to live or be able to handle things and make decisions for yourself as well. However, there are many women that are not happy in that place. That's not what they don't want to stick, as the nurturer, the mom, the one that is just in the house, the stay-at-home mom. They want more for themselves, right? And majority of us will not find it funny when you say we are supposed to be in the kitchen. So it's a very, very dicey conversation, but a woman's role is definitely not in the kitchen. I mean, we have women that are presidents, we have women that are head of, the Fortune 50 companies, we have women that are leading this in Nigeria. In fact, statistics say that women are better leaders. No offense to the men, but statistics say that women are better leaders because we bring a lot of things to the table. We understand, we empathize with the people that are following us. We bring understanding and the feminine side as well to leadership. So I do not believe that, we are meant to be in the kitchen. I believe that there's more to women and to what we can bring to the table than actually just standing in the kitchen and cooking and sweating and serving sweet food, except for those that do it as a profession, the caterers, or those that decide that this is what I want to do in my life, and they've decided to balance it, or they are happy cooking. I mean, there are people like that are very happy cooking. I'm not, but there are women like that.
All right, that's interesting. That's great. Before there will be a short break that we are going to go on so that we can also hear from other women their view towards this year's International Women's Day. But before then, let's hear do you have any project or initiative that is currently going on now? So let me hear from Mrs. Oyeleye.
Thank you very much once more. Children Emergency Relief Foundation has a continual, we've been empowering women since 2009. So it's something that we do all the time. And sometimes we get international sponsors, sometimes we don't, but we ensure that we do it. And when you say empowerment does not have to be so expensive. The first thing is understanding needs assessment, understanding what the needs of these women are, and then looking at how you can actually make them financially independent. I want to say that in the case of those who have even agreed that, fine, I don't want to work. Maybe it's like they're in the childbearing stage, between themselves and the husband, they have agreed that they're not going to work out there at that point in time. Please, that does not mean you should not empower yourself. You should spend those years, making sure that you're building up yourself. Now, these days, you don't have to walk out of the door before you can actually do something, make money, or develop yourself. So make sure you are developing yourself. Don't be disconnected. So fine, we have programs all the time, to empower women at least twice in a year. I know that the U.S. Embassy Abuja also supported us sometime, like 3 years ago, and we do have it irrespective of whether we get sponsors or not, because like I said, empowerment doesn't have to be so expensive. Just 2 days ago, I understood there's a lady that needed, of course, she needed to be further financially independent. The husband has been out of job for 5 years, and the little meager income she's had is what they've been using to run the house. And she has been telling me she needs to do something more. Okay, think about it. What can you do? What are the needs in your vicinity? What can you add, even though you're going to work, but what can you do? So eventually we saw that there was a gap in where she stays. There was something she could sell that people need around. And so, with just 20,000 that I gave her 2 days ago, she has started something. So this to tell you that it can be as little as that, and it can be as much as millions. So we have empowered girls, we have empowered women, and we're still doing it so that they can be financially independent. In fact, in these days, by the economies that is going on, it's difficult for one hand to actually do the work. So the women have to be supportive. And that is why there's a lot of violence even in the home, because when the woman is not adding financially to the home and is a man, and there's so much frustration due to the economic situation, you discover that there's a lot of violence going on. So we're doing a lot of work in this area, empowering women, both psychosocially, financially, and skill acquisition basis. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Okay, before we go on that break that I talked about, let me hear from Madam Ogunleye. What project do you have coming up now? I know you have something cooking.
All right. So the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria, of which I am honored to be the current welfare officer, is planning an International Women's Day event in Lagos and Abuja. And the aim of this is to empower women by having the discussions on, the public management, civic engagement, and the business leadership sectors, and how we can include women, make women be part of these different sectors, include women in policy, for instance, include women in, having more NGOs, include women in empowering their businesses, And in Abuja as well, we're going to have the same event. We have brought like top professionals and experts. Our keynote speaker in Lagos is the SSA to the governor on health, and our keynote speaker in Abuja is the SSA to the president on citizenship and leadership. So it's going to be a very empowering discussion. Apart from that, we want to celebrate women, and we did not make it just about the Mandela Washington Fellowship. We open it up for women to nominate women across board, across different associations, across different sectors that they think that are making waves, are doing amazing, inspiring women, including women, doing amazing things. Nominate them and vote for them so that we can, celebrate them on that day by giving them an award. And it's not just any award, though, special trophy award like this to show that the women are amazing. And I'm not marketing. But special trophy award to show that women are amazing, and it's going to be a wonderful time because I believe every woman, I apologize, my baby is crying, but I believe that every woman should be celebrated, should be empowered, like Madam Oyele said, is very important. And so we have come together to put this amazing program, to ensure that we can celebrate as many women as possible. Because we could have just done it within the association, but we decided to open it up to every woman that can attend. In fact, our tickets are sold out right now. It literally sold out in 2 days. That's just to tell you how much women want to be part of this conversation, how much women want to be celebrated, how much women want to, know more or add more or just give more value or be present with other women to have this very important conversation. So that's the project that I always call it MWFAN, but the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria is doing. Thank you.
Oh wow, that's quite enticing. I just pray that when it comes to the Father's Day, we'll also be having things like this so that the men too can also be included in most of the things that happen. Okay, great. It's cool. So my producer, can we have the slot now so that we could hear from other women?
Hi, my name is Ebolu Aladi Jebi and I reside in Lagos, Nigeria. In commemoration with this year's IWD, I would like to advise all women out there to empower themselves, to build up, to get skills, be equipped and harness your innate powers and be the best. Don't forget to register on cleverland.com. Bye.
My name is Jennifer Igodalo and I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. My advice for women out there for this 10th for International Women's Day is for them to be strong. I want to see more women in the film industry. I want to see them going out there to get more skills. I want to see them doing great things. I want to see them even in politics. They can do it. And don't forget to register on cleverland.com. Thank you.
Hello people, my name is Agnes Ukwa. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, so my advice for women for this year's Women International Women's Day is for you to go all out. Break the societal bias against women. I stay on your team, female president in Nigeria, and I know it can happen. Thank you, and don't forget to sign up at cleverland.com. Thanks.
Hello there, good day everyone. My name is Victoria Johnson. I reside here in Lagos State, Nigeria. Well, my advice for women in this year, International Women's Day, is for women to go out there, boost your self-esteem, shut down every form of negativity, be open and honest, go out there, get skills, learn, unlearn and relearn, and do great things as a woman. Don't forget to sign up on cleverland.com. Thank you so much. We love you. Mwah.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah James. I reside here in Lagos, Nigeria. In honor of the International Women's Day, I have a piece of advice to share to all. My advice for women is that they should protect their mental health, they should be less resentful and go for what they want. Please don't forget to register at cleverland.com.
Hello everyone, my name is Adeza Moise. I reside in Lagos. In honor of Women's Day celebration, my piece of advice is to women is that there is more to us than they reproducing, than giving birth to our children. We have something in us that makes us special. Explore that thing, and that way you'll be able to give back to the society and benefit other people around you. And I'll also be asking you and encouraging you to sign up at cleverland.com.
Happy International Women's Day 2024! Hi, my name is Ebolu.
All right, well, welcome back to the program. Let's remember that the topic remains the same, the role of women in organizational leadership, women empowerment, government, and aspire inclusion in Nigeria. Please don't forget to follow us on clevener.com and also watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, ma. Now let's talk about, I want Mrs. Oyeleye to help us tell us a little about the US Exchange Alumni Association. Narrow it down to your own association too, which is the HHAFAA. So tell us a bit about these two associations, because I know you are once an alumni in the US Government Alumni Association and currently the president of the HHAFA. So please let us hear a little about this, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for the opportunity. I want to say well done to the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association for the good, for their program concerning women. It's very good. It's very good. I hope I'll be able to attend as well. So I am the president, like I said, of the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship Alumni Association. That's long, right? And it's one of the many exchange programs, you know, of the US government.
Yes, I think it's the network. All right. I think the network is a bit bad from our own end there. Let me come back to Madam Ogunleye. I know you are the welfare officer for the Mandela Washington Fellowship. Can you tell us a bit about Mandela Washington Fellowship and how you become Mandela Washington Fellowship alumni?
Okay, I was listening to know whether you're asking me about Mandela Washington Fellowship or Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria. But since you started with Mandela Washington Fellowship,
yes.
So the Mandela Washington Fellowship was basically from, you know, like the YALI. They now started the Mandela Washington Fellowship in 2014, and it was started by Obama, as we know, who brought leaders together for the exchange program, you know, take them to the US so they can learn more in different institutes, over, I think, 50 institutes in the US, take us in, train us, you know, allow us to collaborate with US professionals. How did I get in? Honestly, I'm humbled that I got in. I can't tell you precisely that I am better than the rest, and that's how I got in. I'm honestly humbled. But I think for people that want to get in, the important thing is that you show that you have, well, you're a good leader, and you have like a level of volunteerism. You talk about volunteerism, which shows that you care for the people of the country and you care about your country, right? And then you have to show like the track record of work that you have done. So for instance, I had done a number of health outreaches. I was also the chapter leader of Future Females. I've run a lot of projects. I had also partnered or volunteered in many organizations before I applied for it. So that person that was in my cohort and other Mandela Washington Fellows, they have also put in the work by either volunteering or making some kind of impact in their own industry or sector. Now, after the Mandela Washington Fellowship, because if I start to talk about my stay in the US, I will talk forever, because it was amazing. There were so many programs. I mean, I went to Tesla, I went to Microsoft, I met amazing US professionals that are now like family. I met people from other African countries that are now like family. Like, I mean, I have a very wide network now. If I'm going to Namibia, I have at least two people I can call and say, I'm in Namibia, please come pick me up. And that's the power of what the fellowship does for you. It gives you network in different countries in Africa and in the US. Right, and it also gives you the network of people in Nigeria, because now I have the network of people in the USGEAA, right, and I have the network of people in the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria. So for the association, you obviously have to have finished the program, the Mandela Washington Fellowship program, and you have to have gotten your certificate, because you can actually not get your certificate. If you break one rule, let's say you decide to stay back in the US, they might not give you your, or they might take your certificate, or you don't obey the rules that are given to you at your institute, you might not pass through and they might not give you your certificate, right? So you have to have gotten your certificate and finish the program successfully, and then you officially become a Mandela Washington Fellow alumni in the Mandela Washington Fellowship Alumni Association of Nigeria. And once you are able to come in, we pay dues, we pay annual dues, and we run different programs. We currently have over 570 fellows in Nigeria, diaspora, everywhere, that are part of MWFAN. Permits me to call it MWFAN because it's just faster. So we have over 570 fellows in MWFAN across different sectors, across business leadership, civic engagement, public management. And we have fellows that are doing amazing work. My son wants to speak for me, my apologies. And we have fellows that are doing amazing work across board. We also run several projects. Every month, we run a minimum of 3 to 5 projects in different states in Nigeria, right? Like the IWD is one of the projects we run. We just finished the project Safe in Ondo State. We did one in Kobe this month. We did one in Cross River State this month. We have the NWF at 10 conference coming up in October. We have the there's like a Beyond the School program that we do, where we give grants to schools children after they do like a grant competition. So we do like a lot of projects to give back to Nigeria. And that's why I'm very passionate about the association, because I'm here working, and I know that I'm impacting as many people as possible, including the leaders in the association. Because it's very powerful. I don't know, I'm here in Lagos, I don't know people in Kaduna, but as welfare officer, I get to know people in Zamfara, in Kaduna, in different states. So that's really much about MWFAN. Thank you.
That's interesting. Great. I love that. Okay, let's come back to Madam Oyeleye. Yes, you were actually saying something before the network took you off. Please, can you continue?
I'm so sorry. My apologies. My light, the light went off. I don't know how this one will hold for long. So thank you so much. I was twice treasurer of the United States Government Exchange Alumni Association, which is a coalition of all the exchange alumni associations in Nigeria. So you discover that anyone who has undertaken an exchange that is gone on a cultural or educational event, whether in the US or on such platform under the United States Department of State, will now become an alumni when you come back. So in my own case, I belong to the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship Alumni Association. I went to the United States for 11 months program. In actual fact, the HHF, as we call it, is the most distinguished and prestigious program of the United States Embassy in any country. That's a fact, because that's where they spend most of the money. Before this, one single amount they spend on one HHF member fellow, they can spend it on 10 or 20 others associations. So it's not a program that they joke with at all. It's a leadership program. It's for mid-career leadership. And by the way, the application form is out now. If you're interested, it's out now, and we close. Usually it close like 1st of June. And this program is based on leadership. They give opportunity for people in about 16 different areas. Mine is NGO. And honestly, in those areas, whatever area you're working, you must be able to show commitment to community service as well. Just like my co-guest said, community service is very key, something they look out for. You must have a heart to be able to support the vulnerable or fill in a gap in the society. Government can do everything. So those who have come from the program and come back belong to our association, even though it's supposed to be voluntary, but we encourage everyone to join us. And that is why we are the fewest. We're actually the fewest, because In every given year, they don't send more than 2 or 3. In fact, there's a year, 1 or 2 years, they sent only one one person, because like I said, they spend the most money. Whereas from some organizations, some of the other alumni, they can send like 10,000 in a year. So that's why it's a very prestigious group. And we have a number of programs that we do, especially in the area of leadership as well. And by the way, we're going to be running a virtual program on leadership this month. Details will be available so that Cleveland can also key into it. Okay, so we normally have an annual seminar where we bring key leaders in the society. And by the way, our members also hold key position in the society. For example, the former governor of Lagos State is our member. The former chief judge of Lagos State is our member. You know, she was the first, female chief judge. She was the one that started the sexual violence court, where a court that deals with cases of sexual violence. So we have a lot of our members holding very strategic and important position. The former speaker of for INEC that was all over the place during the election is our member. Okay, so as per leadership, we want to ensure that as a nation, we have the right kind of leadership, because a people cannot be greater than the leaders leading them. Okay, so those areas, yes. And then we also go into schools. We have speaker programs in secondary school. We have programs in the tertiary institution as well. We celebrate by January, February, we celebrate Martin Luther King Day, and we're bringing in Nelson Mandela too as part of the models that we're going to be working with around that day as well. So we do all of these programs, and we do a number of programs as well that will strengthen our members, know really well their leadership position, and we want to ensure. And the last time we had our annual seminar, which was last year, you were there, Daniel, there was a strong call against corruption there. There was a strong call that we need to do more about corruption. We need to talk more about it. In fact, if we can create a university that will be solely dedicated to corruption. So these are things we'll do. And then we know that women are so key, and that is why we need to strengthen leadership as per women. So this is something we're going to do this month as well. So the Hubert Humphrey Fellowship Alumni is a project that is available to all our members that have gone for that fellowship and come back, and you can be part of it also. Just try and apply. The application process is on. A lot of people, the problem with our people, they will say, this thing is difficult. They cannot, they get very lazy. But the truth of the matter was, I did it myself. When they told me it was difficult, I said, I can make it. And I did. The first year, I got to interview stage and dropped. But the second year I applied, I made it. So it's not impossible. It's possible. It's something that can be done. So I encourage you to apply. So that's that about it. And the GA program is something that the embassy is also passionate about, so that we're coming together, as alumni body with all our various strengths and with all the skills that have been built up. And we're going to be doing programs and projects that will impact greatly this nation and beyond. So that's what this is all about. Thank you.
Wow, that's interesting. I really appreciate that. Oh, yes, we've spent so much time. We'll be rounding up now. So let me come to Madam Ogunleye. What advice do you want to give to people that are looking up to you?
Okay, people that are looking up to me. One of the things that are very important to me is authenticity. So, first of all, I would say that in everything you do, in leadership, in life, whatever you do, be authentic. Make sure you find out who you are and be your authentic self, right? And then keep pushing. It's important that you do not give up, especially for women, because we tend to have so many things that we are doing. We have to multitask, and most times for a lot of women, it's more about the fatigue of doing everything at the same time that makes us not want to, push forward or try different things. For a lot of women that I have spoken to, especially women my age, so like late millennials, you would see that we're like, there's just so much going on. Why do I have to, keep doing so much or keep trying to do so much, but just keep striving, keep doing what you're doing, keep pushing. Now, for everyone else, I would like to say, remember to invest in women, remember to include women, remember to inspire inclusion, because if you do not do that, then who will do it? Women at the top, you need to be able to allow other women see you supporting women, see you bringing women into those seats, you know, that you have been able to get into, that table that you're able to sit on. We want to see you bring more women on board, because if you do not, then the younger ones, what do they learn and how do they know what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to go about it, right? We look at you and, you know, we're looking at the leaders up there to support us. Now, for the people that are also looking up to the leaders, I want to tell you that everybody is figuring it out. As we achieved it, or as the leaders on top have achieved it, you can achieve it irrespective of where you are in life, irrespective of who you are in life. The important thing is that you develop yourself, you improve yourself, like Madam Oyeleye said. Wherever you are, make sure that development, improvement is important, is a priority for you, because that's the only way that you can now, you know, achieve those milestones that you want to achieve. Even if you do not have money, there's Coursera, there are different things, get a mentor, there are different ways you can go about it. You know, get into these programs. These programs are free. It's free to apply for. I don't know if I think it's free to apply for every single one of the exchange programs. I'm assuming because it was free to apply for MWF. Right, so it's free to apply for this thing. And like she said, she applied by herself. I also applied by myself. So you don't have to go and look for someone or pay someone to apply for it. It's even wrong. It's unethical. So keep doing those things. And sometimes you might. I know one of my friends in Ghana. She said she applied almost 5 times, and it was when she reached the age where you cannot apply again. That was the year she got in. And then I had another friend from Malawi. He literally turned 36 the month after the interview. And that, like, you can't get in after 35. So that's the 11th hour. So sometimes it comes at the 11th hour. You have to learn to not give up. And I think that's something that we need to really understand in this part of the world. But I think we tried, because already, let me not go political, but I think we tried with not giving up. So we need to continue with that spirit of not giving up and just pushing. And again, please include women, invest in women, invest in women. The woman is the mother. She's the one that, you know, nurtures. When you invest in one woman, you're investing in like 10 people at the same time. So if you invest in me, you're investing in all my children. You understand? So invest in women. No offense to the men. Invest in women. That's all I have to say.
All right, that's interesting. Let's also hear from Madam Ogunleye.
Oyeleye. Okay.
Oyeleye,
Yes,
sorry.
please. Okay, so you empower a man, you empower a family, but you empower a woman, you're empowering a nation. Women, when you empower them, you are empowering their families and beyond, because you know empowerment is a lasting solution to vulnerability. We have over 10.5 million orphans and vulnerable children here in this nation. And if that statistic is anything to go by, how do we deal with it? It is more, give more to women empowerment, give more to gender-based financing. Women wants to do something. There is no capacity, no power, how do you call it? The empowerment, the money, the finances to get it done. So when we're talking about financing, even those who are doing financing and banks and the rest, also look at the gender perspective, even in this financing. In the North, there are places, okay, that the women are the ones that does the farming and they will still buy this. So whatever we're doing, have women in perspective. And I would say, and also even in leadership, you know, women are wired differently. We have empathy. We are sensitive. Sometimes I'll look at someone and I'll tell my husband, this is it. And he's like, no, how did you know? And later it will turn out to be so. You know, we have this sensitivity. We can like perceive things. So these are skills that are very useful in leadership. We are better collaborators and multitaskers. So I want to encourage organizations, don't be biased. These women can actually do well and even do better if you give them the opportunity. And to my fellow women, please take care of yourself. You know, on the International Women's Day, for my staff, I told everyone and anyone that walked in there that day, I told them they have to check their BP, you know, check vital signs. And you know, one of my staff, Our BP was reading 280 something over 143. That was wow. I mean, this person could literally fall down and say, something could have happened. So let's take care of ourselves, in as much as we want to, like we want to support the whole world, right? Take good care of yourself. Know your limits and make sure that you celebrate even when there's nobody to celebrate you, celebrate yourself. And I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to say there's so much value that we can add as a woman. So please don't relegate yourself. Let as the opportunity, they said success is preparation waiting for opportunity. So as you prepare yourself, even if you don't have the opportunity, there was a woman that walked up to me many years ago. I was their pastor's wife, and she told me, she said, when she was a single, she was the secretary of a very big organization, and she was traveling all over the country. And when she married, the husband said, you have to sit at home. So at the time she was talking to me, she was like 20-something years married, like 23, 24 years married. And she was like, she's no longer content with that. She wants to do something. And I'm like, look, first of all, if you now do something, it will be like, they advise you wrongly in church and all of that. But yes, you have to take it slowly. The fact was that in the first instance, you shouldn't have agreed like that. You should have come to a consensus on the fact that you also want to do something. So somebody has been very active, and then you now made that, grounded her to zero. That was her case. And then now, after 20-something years of marriage, she was like, I want to do something. So let's talk about it. Women, talk about it with your spouses before you marry. And even marry, talk about it. Because honestly, even with, it's not only in Nigeria, things are difficult. All over the world, economies of the nation are, are challenged. So these women can add value. They can support you. It's not like by empowering her, then to make her, feel that when the woman is empowered, then she will now take authority and be doing what she likes. No, it's understanding, collaboration, and consensus. And then everyone will be all right. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
All right. I really want to say a big thank you for coming. Madam Oyeleye, I appreciate you, and Madam Ogunleye, I really appreciate you for coming. This is a conversation, and I believe that this will impact so many people. And I also let my audience know that the Harper Humphrey Fellowship application is online, like we heard. Please go out there and apply. Also remember that I'm also the alumni of Yali RLC West Africa, which cohort 48 application is also on right now. These are applications that can that can change your destiny. Please go out there and apply. I appreciate you people. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you next week.